If you have a cleaning company or any blue collar company similar to a cleaning company and you struggle to find employees, then this is going to be the video for you. For those of you guys who don't know who I am, my name is Cameron Tran. I run two separate cleaning companies, one a house cleaning company and one a commercial cleaning company. And one of the biggest bottlenecks that we face in the cleaning industry is finding and retaining good cleaners. You know, in our business of cleaning, getting the business itself is not necessarily our issue, but it is fulfilling the service with good cleaners, you know, and it allows us to grow. The more good cleaners we have, the faster we can grow and the more we can fulfill those contracts. You know, in cleaning, if you own a business, and every time you get a new contract, you're going in and you're cleaning it yourself, you do not own a business yet. You still have a job. You need to have an overflow of qualified candidates that are prepared to take those jobs for you. And so in this, I'll show you how you can always have a pipeline of 3 to 5 people ready for the job at all times, of highly qualified people, better than what you can find now if you have no system in place. At the end of the day, it's really quite simple. It just comes down to 4 steps. And the first one being that we use Indeed to find all of our candidates. We have tried other platforms that are out there that have candidates on there, but we do find Indeed just to have the most options out there, the most people, and we definitely get the most resumes and applicants through Indeed. And so what we do is we go on to Indeed and we sponsor a post for $5 a day. Now you don't have to sponsor this because there is a way to manually do this as well, but I'm going to take you through the automatic way that we do this. On Indeed, if you make a job posting, you can sponsor it for $5 a day, and you can send out an automatic message to everybody that applies only if you sponsor it. And then in that automatic message, you can set up a description of an invite to an open interview, and you should have an interview once or twice a week. And so what this is going to do is that every single person that applies to your job is going to get invited to this open interview or a group interview. Since our show up rate for jobs is so low in the cleaning industry, you know, it's anywhere from 20 to 25%, we just invite everybody, and if we invited 100 people, we're expecting 20 to 25 people to show up. Another way to automate this and really see how many people are going to come is that if you have a Calendly account, you can set up a Calendly account and set up a meeting schedule where you have interviews once or twice a week or 3 times a week if you really need, and they can automatically click through the Calendly link and select a time slot, and they'll show up for that open interview at that time. This is nice because it sends out automatic reminders to people, and you can also kind of see how many people you think are going to be there. If you know it's 30 people signed up, you'll probably end up getting anywhere from 20 to 15 people. But that is the automatic version of this. This is the way you can set it up without you having to do anything. The other way you can do is that you set up a free Indeed post, and you can go through and scrape through the resumes and invite everybody to the interviews and give them the address, the time, and all of that directly. Copy and paste a message to different candidates. And that way is pretty easy as well, but it does take a lot more time. And so if you're really busy, you really want to set up the automatic way, and it'll automate the system and invite people. Which I guess this takes me to step 2, which would be the actual open interview process. Now, I've seen this done 2 different ways. The way we've done it in the past and the way we liked was what we would do is we have an open interview, and we would have a line out the door of candidates, and then we'd bring everybody in and interview them individually. These are really fast interviews, like 5 minutes max for these interviews, and then we go through the line and we interview everybody that way. Now, the other way that's more time efficient but less conclusive in my opinion, and we've tried this as well, is the group interviews. And so you bring people in by the 10s or 15s or however many you really want, and you do a group interview with everybody in the room. You know, and you can really sense the vibe of everybody when you conduct a group interview, and it's really kind of obvious to see who's good and who might be a good fit. But I find it less personal and less of a grasp, and sometimes the best cleaners are not very open or comfortable in a big group of people like that. I don't need a cleaner who's super social, right? Someone who's just good at their job. And I want to make sure if I have a group interview, everybody's still talking, but it can be harder to get a hold of who a person is and how good of a cleaner they might be or a good employee they might be for you when it's not very one-on-one personal. And then once you've screened all your candidates through this, hopefully you're not in a desperate situation where you have to hire somebody and you have nobody there. And now in this situation, you have 20 different people that want a job that you can choose from, and hopefully 1 to 3 of them are really exceptional people. And before doing this process, sometimes I felt like we were selecting from scraps. It was like, we don't really like any of our candidates right now, but we have to hire somebody. We're desperate for an employee essentially. And when you're in that situation, the quality of your cleaners really descends, and it's really hard to grow a company that way. But if you have a quality pool of people to choose from all the time, it's really easy to find great cleaners, bring them in, and if it doesn't work out, you have somebody else in the pipeline. After we conduct the group interview or the open interview, the last and final step would be a test cleaning, and this is essentially a second interview is what we would call it, but we send them in with one of our good cleaners or managers, and they clean with that person, and they do the job that night with them essentially. And what this does is show us if they have good experience or they can have the capability of cleaning well. And it shows a lot about their personality and who they are and how they act as an employee. And only after this goes well and this is successful do we bring them in with our company. That is truly the entire process. It's quite simple, but it's highly effective, and it's really nice if you're really busy just to set up the automation. It's going to end up costing you anywhere from $180 to $200 a month to set up that automation, but if that allows you to not have to worry about recruiting candidates and just show up for the interview once a week, it's a big deal when you're really busy. I hope this helped. This is a quick video. It's a simple process, but it's a really important process in cleaning in particular because it's so important that we have amazing cleaners at our companies. If this was useful, please like and subscribe. I appreciate you guys for watching. Thank you.